Okay, so just like we had the standard form, right? Every time they give you a circle, it's not going to be in standard form. We have something called the general form of equation of circle, and that goes as follows. The general form right? So the general form of the equation of a circle is given by x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Now, while this is a good equation, I mean, it's another form of writing a circle, there's some problems with this. That doesn't readily give me, right? So the standard form readily gave me what the center and the radius were. This one doesn't readily give me what the center and the radius are. So if I give you an example of a equation in general form, how do we figure out what are the center and the radius of that circle? So let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, so what we want to do in this video is we're going to try and find the center and radius of a circle that has the equation in general form, and the equation is x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 4y plus 3 equal to 0. What we want is we want to convert this equation somehow into the standard form, because once we convert it into the standard form, we know how to find h and k, and then we know how to find our radius r. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, first thing I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 3 from both sides. Okay, so if I do that, I get x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 4y equals negative 3. And now I'm going to rearrange the terms so that all the x's are together and all the y's are together. So simply rearranging the terms, I get x squared plus 2x plus y squared minus 4y equals negative 3. Right? Now, this is the big step, is I'm going to go ahead and complete my square. Remember, when you looked at your standard form, it was x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared. So using these two terms and these two terms, I want to complete their squares. So how would I complete the square? Well, I have x squared plus 2x, right? And I'm going to have to add something here. And then I have y squared minus 4y, and I'm going to have to add something here. And that gives me negative 3. And then we'll see what else to do there. So how do I complete this square? Well, I need a perfect trinomial here. So what I do is I go ahead and I take this term 2x and I divide that by 2 to give me 1, and then I square it. So this becomes plus 1 squared. And since I added a 1 squared here, I'm going to have to add a 1 squared on the other side as well to maintain the equality. Same thing here. I look at the term negative 4y. I look at the term negative 4 divided by 2, so I get negative 2, and I square that, so that gives me 4. Okay. And so I'm going to add a 4 here. Or actually, let's go ahead and write that as negative 2 squared. And so I'm going to add a negative 2 squared as well. Okay, so this term here gives me x plus 1 squared. And this term here gives me y minus 2 squared equals, I have negative 3 plus 1 plus 4. So I have x plus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals, I have negative 3 and 1 is negative 2 and 4 is 2. Okay. Now, if you remember what our equation was, it was x minus 8. So I'm going to write the plus as x minus negative 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 2. Right? Or I can rewrite this 2 as square root of 2 squared. Okay, so now these are the form x minus 8 squared, right? So I have x minus 8 squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So if you just compare, I have my center, which is hk, and that center is going to be, right, h is negative 1, and k is 2, and my radius of the circle is going to be square root of 2.